slime bag! What's your problem, bro? We're trying to have a good time. Nope. Who the hell are you? What the hell? To the circus.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting. We're in for the good reels, so you don't have to. This is your boy Brad. The Brett Man's right over there, and today we're not looking for good reels. We're looking for bad ones for the first time in a while. We're going to be giving you our top 5 worst movies of 2022. This was an idea presented to us by Rosie during our last live stream with her top 20 movies of 2022. And we figured, what the hell, man? Let's do the opposite. It's opposite day. Let's go ahead and give us our top 5 worst movies, bottom 5 movies, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about them today. And yeah, it's going to be a fun list, man.
Oh, dude, it's going to be so interesting because I finally get to let off some steam about these movies that I actually despise. So, Rosie, my dear, first off, here's your rose. Don't pretend I didn't forget you. So this video is dedicated for you, and it's also dedicated to our Patreon. So here's our Patreon card here. These are our real hunters. They are the backbone of this channel, and they provide us so much to keep our channel a success and just be heavy contributors to this channel. So we want to thank them. And if you're interested in being a real hunter, the Patreon link is in the description down below. So click on it and pick a particular tier. It don't matter which one. We are just happy for you to be here so you can be a real hunter today.
And as always, if you can't be on Patreon, that's okay. We appreciate you being here, watching this video, hitting that like button, comment section, hit that shit up, share the stuff, man. All that stuff helps us out tremendously as we're on our quest to 1,000. So we appreciate all the support we can get, man. Dude, man.
Yeah,
top
man.
5?
Top 5, man. Before that, I want to hear your guys' top 5 worst movies of 2022. Let us know in that comment section down below. And Brad, before we even begin with a top 5, do you have any... I was going to say honorable mentions, but you know what? Screw that. These are the dishonorable mentions.
It's an honor. No, it's not. Yes, I do. I'll do 2. First one's going to be Where the Crawdad Scene. Now, before I get started, I will say that I purposely avoid bad movies. I don't go out and look for if there's a movie that looks like it's going to be complete trash, I'm not going to waste my time watching it. So my bottom 5 is probably going to be very different from Brett's bottom 5. These were just the worst movies that I watched this year. And some of them really aren't even that bad. It's just they just fall at the bottom for what it is. But yeah, my first one is Where the Crawdad Scene. I just thought this was cheesy as hell. Like, it was decent. Like, I know the book is good. A lot of people like the book, and I think the story itself was interesting. And I really like Daisy Edgar Jones in this movie. I thought she was really good, but just overall, it was really corny. It was really silly. It was just kind of, I never really felt anything from it. It was just a goofy movie. So yeah, I mean, again, it's not a horrible movie. It wouldn't be on a lot of people's bottom list probably, but for me, it's towards the bottom. And my second dishonorable mention is going to be The Adam Project. This is a film that came to Netflix with Ryan Reynolds. Again, this isn't a horrible movie. It's just down here because it's very unmemorable. It's very forgettable. Those two mean the same thing, by the way. If you're not keeping score, you're welcome. I didn't find it very funny. I didn't find it very enjoyable. I didn't find Ryan Reynolds' character to be anything different than what he's done at all at any other point in the last few years. So for that reason, it just finds its way down here. It's one of those movies I'm just never going to watch again, nor would I have any interest in watching again.
Well, first off, I'm telling on your wife, because how dare you mention Where the Crawdad Scene that low? Where
she didn't like it either. She likes the book. But
okay, you know what? We're going to move on from this. This is already going south for me, and I'll take out that anger on these movies here. My first dishonorable mention. This one's dedicated to Brad, and that's Crimes of the Future. Me and Chris could have not made it through this movie with our 24-ounce Trulies that we were drinking during this movie, dude. What the fuck did we watch in this? The only nice thing I'll say about it is Kristen Stewart was really good, and that I can never pronounce the Bond girl's name.
Léa Seydoux.
Yeah, Lea Seydoux. Yeah, I'll admit they were very good, and visually it was very nice to look at. But other than that, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even know what the movie was damn about. I just assumed chocolate bars that killed people, and that was it. So that's my that's my first dishonorable mention.
Close.
And then my oh my god! And then my other dishonorable mention is The Seed, which is a Shudder exclusive on Shudder. Yeah. Well, anyway, where else can you find it? But anyways, this movie was just so bad for acts 1 through 2. It's just I wanted to really turn it off, but then I saw this one tweet that says, well, at least the third act was somewhat salvageable, and I did watch it, and the third act was just okay for me. It didn't with that third act alone. That's why it's not at my bottom 5 or top 5 worst movies. So my other dishonorable mention is The Seed, and I'm going to speak for the fans real quick for a dishonorable mention because I know me and Brad have not seen this, but people absolutely despise it. So the audience dishonorable mention is going to be Jeepers Creepers 4, and I'll leave it at that.
That's the audience number 1, dude.
Easily.
But yeah,
but I just want to mention it. So
again, number 5. Again, this isn't a bad movie. We don't really get, in my opinion, to the really bad movies until my last 3. But my number 5 here today is going to be The Munsters from Rob Zombie. Again, not bad. It's a good flick. It's fine. I really enjoyed the atmosphere that he created, the world that he gave us and stuff. Way too long though. This movie was 2 hours. It should have been 1 hour. Over 2 hours, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So for that reason, I'm probably not going to watch it again, to be honest with you. There were some fun times to be had with it. Some of the characters were fun and had a good time, but it's just not. I could maybe see myself putting it on in the background or something, but it's just, I don't know. There just wasn't anything about this movie that really stood out as great. It was just decent. It was meh. And that's just the reason why I ended up at the bottom of this list, because there's other stuff that I enjoyed more.
Okay, man. So Brad's slowly becoming a Rob Zombie hater.
No, like I said,
I'm just I'm messing, dog.
But
no, I was just messing with you, man. But man, let me get you a freaking heated movie. For number 5 for worst movie of 2022, that's going to be freaking Firestarter. Talk about a freaking remake gone south, or pretty much in this movie, up in flames. What in the actual hell? Not even Zac Efron can save this movie for being as bad as it is. The CGI was horrible. There was a scene with a cat that was absolutely not needed. Dude, I watched the original before this remake. The original was good. This remake absolutely was garbage and did not really even respect the original. So my number 5 is Firestarter.
It's a good pick, man. Number 4, man, you talked about it. I'm going to talk about it again. Crimes of the Future, man. Again, this movie was unique. It was very well created by Cronenberg. It had some really cool visual effects and stuff like that. A very unique world that was built in this movie. Which I really appreciate for that. I think it's a well-made movie. My problem with it is boring as fuck. I mean, it just I didn't care about the characters. And if I don't care about the characters, I really don't give a fuck about what's going on. So that's really kind of what the crux of this movie was. I didn't think I think I had a little bit of a decent idea about what was going on in the movie.
You don't even know either.
It wasn't about chocolate bars. But yeah, I just don't care. And it's definitely a movie I'm never going to watch again. It's super slow. There were some cool visuals, but that's really about it for me, man. It's just not one. It's not for me. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and Robbie, if you're watching this for some reason, we know you love this movie, so there's our thoughts on that. We are on the absolute opposite of that. My number 4 for worst movie of 2022, man, this was a sad one for me, and that's freaking Morbius. That's the Spider-Man side villain. That's the vampire with Jared Leto. Dude, the CGI face of the whole Morbius thing was absolutely atrocious. And the main question we asked as Marvel fans was, who was the villain in Morbius here? Because they really didn't establish who the villain was going to be in the trailer. And now I officially know why. Because they were doing everything in their power to hide the villain with how freaking bad the villain was. Possibly the worst villain in cinema history. I wish this movie was never made, and these same type of people are going to be making Craven for for Sony for the Spider-Man world, and that has me super concerned because I like Craven. But Morbius, it can go off and die somewhere. So my number 4 is Morbius.
Is this the movie that can fuck off of 2022?
It's not the movie that can fuck off, but it's definitely one of them.
This is a prime example, Birdie. This is one I've been seeing the trailer for years. None of the trailers, of course, look good. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to watch this. And then it came out. Everybody says it's dog shit. So I'm like, I'm not going to watch it. So that's why my list isn't as bad as Brett's. I mean that in the opposite way. He's got a
no. He meant it in a dick way, but it's okay. You know, go on.
I mean that as in your list is more entertaining than mine. But number 3 for me, I don't even know why the fuck I watched this movie. It's Choose or Die. I don't know. It came out on Netflix or something this year, early in the year, way back in the year. And it had Robert Englund in it. That's probably why I watched it, or at least he did the voice or some shit. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember anything about this movie, so that's why it's at the bottom of this
I'm
list.
surprised you even remembered the movie.
I would if it wasn't on my letterbox, buddy, I wouldn't have known I even watched it. I don't remember. I remember. I literally don't remember a single kill, I don't think, from this movie or anything. It's just one of those I watched on a whim. I couldn't tell you anything about it. So yeah, for that reason, it's at the bottom, near the bottom of this list.
Oh man. I'll be honest with you, never heard of it until you just mentioned it. So I guess it had to be that bad. So there we go. My number 3, and this was probably for a good amount of people. I would say 50-50. I'm going to be pissing some people off with this one, but Brad knows my disdain for this movie. And that's going to be Bodies times 3. I'm not going to say it 3 times in a row because it doesn't deserve to be said 3 times in a row. I will say I was very highly on this movie when A24 bought it. I was like, oh, if A24 bought this after the success of the Sundance Festival circuit or the fan film circuit, I'm going to have high faith in this movie. And I went in ready to love it. And I absolutely hated it. And the main thing I hated about this is because I was ready for the wokeness and the whole Gen Z typeness of the movie with the characters. But I felt like it could have used more. I felt like it didn't go all out like I thought it was going to go with. And also this movie was a great reminder too of how much I hate Pete Davidson or whatever the fuck his name is. I just want to punch him in the fucking face. I might actually help fix his whole look and everything if I do that. So next time I see him, do what?
He vapes too. That's the definition of he
does EpiPens, man. But I knew where you would go with that. But man, other than that, though, Bodies times 3. Absolutely was disappointed with this movie, and I will never ever watch it again.
Yeah, dude. I thank you for saving me from that one because that one is actually one I probably would have watched. And sounds like it would have been at the bottom. All right, number 2 for me, man. Dude, this is the biggest what the fuck of the year because people actually liked this movie when it came out. This is Texas Chainsaw 2022. What the fuck, dude? This movie sucked ass. This thing came out. I think it's probably the worst movie in this franchise, save for maybe Leatherface, but it's not much better than that. And the new look they bring Leatherface here is abysmal. He looks like he's from the Duck Hunter game out in the fields when he's popping up. He looks like he just dropped a deuce out there and he's just popping up trying to see what kind of car is passing by. I was like, what the fuck? And people like this. And we had a bunch of CGI in there. The characters were abysmal, so annoying. If we did a top 5 annoying character list, that girl from this movie with she would have been number 1 for sure. I absolutely couldn't stand her. She was one of the protagonists. Her sister was okay, but that was about it. The setting was abysmal. This thing was made on a soundstage, some stupid ass vacant town for Texas Chainsaw. No, that's not what Texas Chainsaw is about, man. Didn't feel at all like Texas. Texas feels like fields and shit. That's what we need to be in. And I know we've done it 100 times, but do it again because it works. Didn't focus on the family of Leatherface at all. Had nothing to do with it. So what the fuck were we trying to do with this? I don't know. One dude got canceled, and then a whole bus of people got freaking slayed, man. So coolest part of the movie, sure. No, actually, it was the ending. But yeah,
because it was
movie
over.
Sucked. Yeah, this thing sucked ass.
Man, and Sally Hardesty, what the fuck on that?
Yes, right? What the fuck? God, get out of here.
Yeah, it was bad. And I'm even going to move it down on my list, actually, just thinking about it. I probably have it way higher than it does not need to be, so I'll fix that later. But my number 2 is going to be Spirit Halloween, the movie. You know, they like the whole story. You know, this pretty much is a big advertising movie for an hour and 20 minutes. And what really like freaking pisses me off is because they have Rachel Lee Cook in this movie, which just in case y'all don't know who that is, she's the main girl from She's All That, my favorite rom-com movie of all time. And they give her nothing to do. Christopher Lloyd was in this movie. He couldn't salvage this piece of shit. Like this movie was absolutely trash. I did not care about anything that was going on, and just I'm even speechless. I freaking hate this movie so much. I'm even just like debating in my mind right now why this one's not the worst movie of 2022, but there's actually surprisingly one worse movie than that. So I'm just going to keep Spirit of Halloween at number 2. Please, guys, do not watch this.
What the fuck are you going to put at your number 1? That's what I want to know. Number 1 for me, man. If you guys have been watching the live streams, you know it's Moonfall. This was the dumbest movie I've seen in a long time, and I didn't pay money for it. Thank goodness. It was on HBO. It popped on. I know Brent saw it in theaters.
I did.
So you know, once it came on HBO, I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a whirl. It took me about 15 different times to get through this movie. Like I started it, get 20 minutes. I was like, okay, I'm bored. Let's go ahead and keep rocking it later. Like it took that many times to get through this thing. Absolutely abysmal. I thought the cast was what drew me in. Patrick Wilson, I like him a lot. Michael Pena was in this thing. Halle Berry was here. The dude Sam from Game of Thrones was in there. So I was like, man, this might actually be kind of cool. You know, a good old fashioned cheesy ass disaster space movie. Cool shit. But no, dude, spoiler alert. You don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Keep listening. You won't care. Trust me. The fucking moon is a robot and it's moving closer to Earth and it's going to freaking explode Armageddon style or some shit. And then they get in there with spaceships and stuff and they start talking to the moon and they're doing all this weird ass shit and all like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but the effects sucked. The story sucked. Everything about it sucked. The acting sucked. Everything about this movie was absolutely abysmal. And yeah, it's a movie that I can't believe I actually watched it. This is the opposite of movies that, well, I would say it's the definition of movies that I tried to skip, but there I was watching it and I finished it and it's at the bottom.
And I bet you hated 2020. I bet you had 2012. Well, not
no, that one was fine
2012.
actually. Yeah, no,
What
I didn't
the
mind
hell?
that one. Like I mean, it wasn't great. It was definitely a cheesy movie, but I mean, it was.
Oh my god,
Dude, Moonfall. No, yeah, this is not a real movie. This is a fake movie.
Okay, fine. Whatever, man. Keep Moonfall where it's at because I have it at the middle tier of my list. For me personally, I like dumb movies like that, but that's just my opinion. But my number 1, Brad, to answer your question, the worst movie of 2022, and this was the worst $6 I have ever spent on a movie. That's the Requiem. That is a shark movie with Alicia Silverstone in it. You know, ass if I would ever see this movie again. Like, absolutely boring. You mentioned boring earlier. This movie was so damn boring. And this was only about an hour, 25-minute movie. And it just freaking took forever. And I had no interest in what was going on. I was pretty much waiting for the shark to appear. And the shark not only just appeared for like the last 30 to 20 minutes of the movie, which that's abysmal. And Alicia Silverstone, she tried her hardest, and I'm not going to fault her for this movie. She was just there for a paycheck, even though she's probably going to be earning pennies versus where she could be earning $1 with how bad this movie is. This movie is absolutely abysmal. It should literally go into the bottom of the ocean. I hope it gets eaten by the biggest, greatest white shark it could possibly ever exist. This movie is trash. Worst movie of 2022.
Wow, dude, the shark movie at the bottom, man.
And I love shark movies, but this one was absolutely boring.
Hey, man, I won't be watching it.
No, please don't watch it. Worst $6 I've ever spent. I could have gotten a free Burger King or McDonald's meal or a lot better than that. But man, what a freaking this was actually a lot of fun. We need to do these more often. This are our top 5 worst movies of 2022. Brad, anything else?
No, man, I think that's it. Next year, I'll try to watch some more shitty movies, so my list is better.
No, that's my job of Good Will Hunting. I watch the shitty movies, so you all don't have to. But more importantly, what are some of your worst movies of 2022? Let us know in that comment section down below, because I know a lot of people are going to mention Jeepers Creepers 4. Please do that, because from what I hear, it is dog shit. Let's get that discussion rolling. And Brad, where can they find us?
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, TikTok, and of course Patreon. Those links are for you to find right down below.
Absolutely. Until then, and also, guys, too, if y'all have any video ideas, I know we mainly save them for Patreon, but like just ideas like Rosie brought up with this one, we do listen to you guys. So always in the comic sessions, let us know if you have a particular video idea, because you might never know. We will get intrigued. But until then, let y'all keep freaking thinking here. I'm not sure why I say freaking to you guys. I love you guys. We're just gonna see you for the next video.
Yes, we will.